Too good, Maverico here. Two is one and one is none. A lesson from the Navy SEALs. For you listening, I'm recording this in my car, so sorry if the audio is a bit bad. Let me plug in my headset. Yeah, two is one and one is none. That's a saying from the Navy SEALs. I thought I'd just jump on and share that because it's a great lesson when it comes to having a backup, preparedness, redundancy, you know. For a lot of things, having a backup is oftentimes too expensive for us, but it doesn't always have to be. Some things I usually carry a pen, and I always used to carry at least two pens. Two is one and one is none. Having a backup, because even if you have a pen and you think you might be prepared, pen stops working all the time. And sometimes if you hold it in the wrong direction or whatever it might be, it doesn't work. Then you have a backup. When it comes to, and that doesn't cost much. When it comes to a phone, that's also extremely important equipment these days for almost everyone. But most people only have one smartphone, and that's it. But what would the Navy SEALs say to that? Two is one and one is none. And at the rate that smartphones are using battery, it only takes a few hours and your battery is empty, So for my phone, I have a backup, a small little Nokia phone like this. I bought it brand new a few years ago for like $22, something like that. And I'm using a twin SIM card. So I have the same phone number on my smartphone and on my Nokia phone. And that cost me, I think it's like $4 extra per month in order to have that twin SIM card. So it's not really that expensive to have that backup option. And it being an old school Nokia phone with buttons, the battery on this little Nokia phone lasts for about 2 weeks. When it's fully charged, it lasts for about 2 weeks. Of course, you don't have internet, not even a camera on this thing, but at least you can make phone calls and send text messages. And it has come in handy a lot of times. It's also great. It's also great for peace of mind as well, because when I have that one in my pocket as well as a backup, I know that I'm likely to have batteries for several days. So yeah, it's also practical if you, for example, are in the car and your smartphone is lying in the car because you were listening to a podcast episode or whatever while you were driving. And if you step outside your car to pick something up, go inside or whatever it is, sometimes I forget my phone in my car. Not usually, but it happens. And if people try to call me, well, when I have my Nokia phone in another pocket, then that has oftentimes worked great as a backup. So it doesn't need to be a disaster scenario for that backup to come in handy. Two is one and one is none. A great lesson from the Navy SEALs that can be applied to a lot of things. Sometimes it's expensive, so we find ourselves in situations where it's not really practical to do it. It would cost too much, but oftentimes it can be done really cheaply, like backup files, storing things several places, having a backup plan, having a backup file. And for a lot of most important equipments, whether it be your own EDC kit, everyday carry kit, or whatever it might be, can be solid stuff. So if you carry a pen, you should carry 2 pens, having a backup. If you carry a gun, you should probably carry 2 guns. If you carry a knife, you should probably carry 2 knives. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Of course, there are exceptions to this as well, but having that backup can save you from a lot of trouble. There is the saying that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Oftentimes true. Yeah. Thought I'd just jump on real quick and share that little gem from the Navy SEALs. So what things in your own life should you have a backup of? What important things can you have a backup of? Maybe your income, having several sources of income, several streams of income. A lot of people realized how fragile and insecure having a job as an employee really is, especially during the whole clown show during 2020 to 2023. All those crazy things happening. Maybe you should have at least 2 streams of income. If you are looking for a way to build what they might call a side hustle, a second stream of income, and doing so in a way that doesn't require that extremely much time on something that can grow and become a full-time income, maybe even a big income. Maybe you should consider building a paid community. It's really trending these days. I'm in the process of interviewing 30 real-life success stories of people that are running paid communities that is making at least $10,000 in profit per month. And the way people are running these, in many cases, it's actually kind of like a cash cow, where it is a source of semi-passive income. So it's actually something that you could run on the side of having a full-time job as an employee. Maybe you don't even want to quit your job. Maybe you really like your job and your boss and the people you are working with, and you want to keep being an employee at least for a few more years. But at the same time, you'd also like to have a backup income, having several streams of income. And imagine working as a full-time employee, but having like a side hustle that makes you at least $10,000 in profit per month. Wouldn't it feel different going to work knowing that? At that point, maybe you would decide to quit your job and work full-time on that business, or maybe you would decide to keep having your job, but knowing that if shit hits the fan, so to speak, At least you have one backup source of income. You know, if you want to learn from those real life success stories that I've interviewed, you should really check out communitycashcows.com. Who knows, maybe you decide to build your own community cash cow. And if you decide to join my community, you can also connect with a bunch of other people that are also building paid communities. Check it out on communitycashcows.com.